Hey everyone, Jake here for American Trucks, and in this video we're taking a look at these elite retractable power running boards fitting 2019 and newer Silverado and Sierra 1500 crew cabs. These are going to pique the interest of Silverado and Sierra owners who want the convenience and features of a power running board without the big time price. These are going to be an affordable power retractable option that gives you all the features you want without having to sacrifice or pay a ton of money. Power boards have become increasingly popular over the last few years, and especially if you've got a lifted truck or you're a bit on the shorter side like I am, these can really be a big help because they kind of do a little bit of everything. Now, these elite power retractable running boards that we have here offer all the good stuff that you'd expect from an expensive set of power boards at a much lower price. Now, for starters, we've got this big 5-inch wide step surface, and each board carries a 600-pound weight capacity. So you can easily access the cab or roof of your truck, and these are going to hold up pretty much whatever you can throw at them. Also included are LED lights to make those steps easier to see at night. And since these are power folding, they're going to tuck up really close to your rocker panel when they're retracted, so really all you're going to see is this. You'll get a nice sleek look. But once these deploy, they do drop down further than most running boards or side steps, especially the fixed ones. And again, it makes it easier to access the cabin. Now, these are of course designed to open within seconds, so by the time you grab the door handle and pulled it open, these are going to be down in their deployed position. They will also stop dead in their tracks if they hit an obstacle while deploying, and that's a built-in feature to prevent damaging the steps or the electronics. Now, the steps themselves are made using extruded aluminum, and they've got this nice textured black finish over top for additional protection and grip. And these things are pretty lightweight. Now, the linkage and brackets are also made using die-cast aluminum with a similar black coating. Now, I've got an example of one of the brackets with a motor attached up here for you to see, but they're all pretty much going to look like this. Now, again, each step is rated for up to 600 pounds of weight capacity. The motors are also weatherproof, and these are designed to operate at a temperature range anywhere from -40 degrees up to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. So they really can handle pretty much anything. Pricing, however, is the real win here, as these are only going to run you about $1,300, which I know that is quite a bit of money, but it does far undercut a lot of other power retractable side steps on the market. And these are going to give you the same types of features that you get from the more expensive steps, including those LED lights. You just get to pay a little less money. Installation gets a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 3 hours to complete. Now, while everything is designed to bolt on without the need for permanent modifications to your truck, you are of course going to have to run some wiring, plug some stuff in, so it is going to take you a little more time than a typical set of side steps. But nothing to fear, we're going to walk you through that process right now, so with that, let's head on out to the shop.
For this install, you need a ratchet, a 13, 10, and 7mm socket, a clip removal tool, 13mm wrench, diagonal cutters, wire crimpers, wire connectors, and the supplied zip ties. All right, today we're going to be installing some power side steps on our Silverado, so let's get started. All right, so we're starting out underneath the front of the driver's side of the truck. We're going to get our brackets mounted up. Now, the bracket with the motor will be in the front, so we're going to start by we have our bolt plate here. We're going to put through this large hole in the back. Grab our plastic retainer, spin that down on the stud. That's just going to help keep this stud in place so it doesn't fall into the side of the truck here. So it would not be fun getting out. Now, when I put the bracket up, it's going to be pretty hard to see because this thing is pretty big. So we're going to have a stud here with a nut. We have another bolt here, and another bolt under here. We're also going to have washers and lock washers going on these. You want to make sure that you have the right one. It will be labeled driver's side. And get that up. Hang that up over our stud. All right, and then we're going to get our other bolt with a lock washer and washer. Get that threaded in up here, just to help hold everything in place. All right, so we're gonna get our bolt with our lock washer and flat washer. Put this into our middle slot here. All right, then we can grab our nut with a flat washer and lock washer. Put that over our stud. Just get that all in place. And then we have our last bolt. The same thing, lock washer, flat washer. And that's just gonna go on the bottom here. Alright, we're gonna grab our ratchet and 13mm socket and tighten all these down. If you need to, because you can't get a socket on that, get a wrench, a ratcheting wrench, tighten that down too. So we're just gonna get all these snug up. You may need to come back after you get everything else done and loosen these up and retighten them just to adjust to get the motor in the right position to put the boards on. All right, but now that that's nice and snug, we can go ahead and get the rear idler bracket on. All right, now we just have our rear bracket. Now both the rear brackets are the same, so it doesn't matter what side you put them on. We're gonna put that in place and just gonna go over these 4 mounting points right here. So we just have our same hardware. We have our bolts with a lock washer and flat washer. We'll get them threaded in. All right, now we'll grab our ratchet with a 13mm socket, tighten all these down. All right, now that we have this rear bracket on, you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side with the other 2 brackets. All right, so now we have our main wiring harness, which we need to hook up. So we have our battery connect, we have our positive and negative, our wire going to our passenger side, a wire going to our driver's side, and then our smaller one will go inside to our OBD port. Now first, before we hook this up, we're going to take this fuse out, just because we don't want any power going to our truck right now. And then we're gonna hook up our positive and negative. And to get to our positive, we're gonna take our cover off, tap here and tap here, lift up. We're gonna go to our negative here. We have a 10mm nut we're gonna take off. And grab our negative terminal. You'll see that it is clearly labeled. Let's slide that over and thread our nut back down. And tighten that down. And we're going to switch to a 13mm socket for our positive. I'm going to take this nut off here. I'm going to take our positive, put that over. Now you can run the wire out through here, through one of these terminals, just so you can put that cover back on. We're going to tighten this nut back down. Put our cover back on. All right, we're gonna leave our fuse out for now. And then we just have our module to hook up. Now we have our control module here, which we need to plug into our main harness. So you're just gonna line up the plug, work around the shield, push it until you hear that click. Now you can mount yours however you want. You will see slots, so you can put like zip ties or mounting tabs. We're just gonna tuck ours here, right next to our battery, which will be good temporarily, but you will see it will move around. You would want to secure that to maybe a bar, or even you could put double-sided tape on one of these covers. Just personal preference. And now we're just gonna run our wires. We already have our passenger side run down on the back of our engine bay. We're gonna run our driver's side ones across our firewall and down through the driver's side. All right, now we're gonna run our 2 wires across our firewall down to our driver's side. Now you can secure this however you want. We're just gonna take a couple clips out of here and tuck our harness behind here. So we're gonna grab our clip removal tool, just pop one out here, and one down here. So take both those wires, and tuck them down. I just want to make sure that these wires do not touch anything hot or anything that would be moving. Reinstall our clips. And then over here, we can use a couple zip ties to secure it over here. Leave that loose for right now, because as the wires are going over the fender, they're actually just going to go straight down through here. All right, now we're going to take our two ends of our harness that are going on the driver's side. Now we're going to shove them down in between the master cylinder here, and basically you'll see the ABS module underneath of it. Now you'll see a little bit of daylight. I know it's going to be hard to see now, but it's basically in between the wheel liner and the firewall. So we're just going to shove that down here. And then we should be able to go underneath and pull that tight. And once you go underneath and just pull the extras through, we'll go underneath and show you where they came through. Just secure your zip tie up here. Take a pair of diagonal cutters and just cut off the extra. So here you see both our wires coming down from right behind the mud flap here. So now we're going to grab our adapter harness for our lights. We're going to plug that in here to the harness that came down. As you can see, I took one of the zip ties and just bunched up the extra there. We're going to tuck this up underneath, run this over the front motor so that it can reach the back. All right, so as you can see, I ran the wiring harness up over our mounting bracket here. I just threw one of our zip ties on to help keep it secure. Now we're going to plug our motor in. And then if you want, you can throw another zip tie up there just to make sure that stays up out of the way. And then we have our light harness here, which we're just going to leave loose for now because we'll run that later and locate our lights. But as for our other wire, we're going to do the same thing and run that up over our bracket and go up through a body plug right here. All right, now we're going to have our signal input harness. You'll see that it is labeled. We're going to go up through this grommet here. You'll see the cable coming through. We're just going to push that up out of the way and get our wire started in there. And then we'll be able to go inside the truck and pull them the rest of the way through. All right, now we just need access underneath our carpet right here. So we're gonna pull this side trim panel up and we'll be able to get underneath to our carpet. We're just gonna lift up right here. Lift up on our seat trim a little bit just to get that out of place. Be able to pull that off to the side. You already see the wires poking up through here. You'll see the grommet here. Now what you really want to do is take your time and actually poke a hole through this so that you have a nice sealed grommet when you're done. You don't want any water getting in from underneath. For demonstration purposes, we're not going to cut or modify this, but if you just poke a hole through, you'll be able to shove the wire through and it'll be nice and sealed still. But we're going to take that, we're going to run that forward and run it up the side here and underneath to our OBD port. All right, once we have our wire to about here, it'll be nice and easy just to tuck that under so we can get our trim and carpet back into place. Lift that back up, get that slotted back in. Give it a good tap, get it in place, and we can get our wire ran the rest of the way. All right, now we just tucked our extra wiring harness behind this panel right here on the side. If you want, you can secure yours however you want. You just want to make sure it stays out of the way of all the pedals. Now we're going to go on the back side of our OBD port. So there are two 7mm bolts, one here, one here. I'm going to take those off. Just so we can access the back of our wiring here. Now as you can see, we do already have connectors on both of our ends of our wiring. Now the connectors we have are a T-pin, so this just clamps over the wire like so, and then you have a spade connector that will just slide into the back of it just like that. And you can see we have spade connectors on here already and T-taps already on the two wires. Now the two locations that we're going to go after are position 6 and position 14 of the OBD wiring. All right, so your colors may vary depending on what they are, so you want to make sure that you go off of the locations. Now position 6 is on the fatter part. That will go with the white wire. So we'll plug that in here. and then position 14. Well, sorry, I put that backwards. White wire here, and then yellow wire, position 14. All right, then we can just put our OBD port back in place, put our 2 bolts back in, and just make sure the wiring is all the way secured. All right, so we're just gonna reinstall our 2 screws. Find it a lot easier if you just put it in the socket first and get it started. Just because they like to fall out on you. And grab our ratchet and tighten them back down. Hook up our wiring. All right, now what you're gonna wanna do is for the passenger side, make sure you have the wire run down and plug in the adapter harness for the lights and plug in the motor. Just make sure you have all the wiring tucked up out of the way. We're then gonna reinstall the fuse, open up our door so we'll put our motor down, pull our fuse back out so we can get our boards on. We're gonna come up here, put our fuse in. All right, we can leave that open for right now because we're gonna pull the fuse again. We're gonna open our driver's side door and let our motors come out so that we can get our board on. Now we're gonna open our driver's side door. Our motor will come down. Now you're gonna pull your fuse out so the motor will stay down. So now that we have our motor down, we can get ready to put our steps on. So I have one of our steps here, just flipped upside down. You'll see a groove in the bottom. I'm gonna grab 4 of our capture bolts. They're just gonna go in the end here and slide into that channel. And you can do this on either end, it really doesn't matter. We're just gonna slide them in. Then we'll be able to flip this over, set this down on our brackets, and then secure them with our 410mm nuts. All right, now we're just gonna set our step over our brackets. Now it's not gonna stay up here. We can kind of just hold it in place while we go underneath, line up our bolts, and then put on our nuts. All right, so as you can see, I just moved our bolts already into position, so they'll sit over our bracket. Just line them up. And I already lined the back up too and just hand threaded our nuts on. You just want to make sure you have both in the slots because it will not go in if you tighten one side down and not the other. We're gonna thread on our nuts. Grab our ratchet and 10mm socket. Now you can also adjust this forward and back. We already did that off camera. So now we're just gonna tighten this down. All right, then you can go ahead and do the same thing in the back with the other 2 bolts. Now we just have our 2 lights to attach. So you can put your lights wherever you want. We're gonna center ours with about the center of the door. There is a body plug right there, which is just gonna sit behind it like so. Now it does attach to the bottom of the rocker panel, not the pinch weld. All right, so we're gonna peel the protective backing off our double-sided tape and then stick that right here. And then we'll come back after we stick on the back one and we'll secure our wiring underneath. All right, so we'll do the same thing with the back one. Plug it in, pull the backing off. Just stick that wherever you want. And now we just need to secure up our wiring. All right, so now we did put our fuse back in so we can get our steps back up, just so it's a little bit easier to get underneath here. So I'm gonna grab a couple zip ties, just bunch up the extra wiring for our lights and secure it away. Now there is a harness in the front here that you can go to. There's also this part on the frame. So you can secure it up however you want. You just want to make sure it doesn't dangle down in the way of when the steps will be moving. Grab a pair of diagonal cutters, just cut off the extra on the zip ties. Now another thing to make note of, we did leave our motors loose and not fully tightened. You would want to do that now that the steps have moved up and down and seated in the position. So just go back and make sure the motors are tightened all the way down. And once you have that done, you can go repeat all those same steps on the other side of the truck.
That's going to wrap it up here for our review and install of the Elite retractable power running boards fitting 2019 and newer Silverado and Sierra 1500 crew cabs. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, for all things Silverado and Sierra, be sure to keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.